Round 6 of Season 14, and we are in East London. Ravo on pole from Lawless to Clerk and Leo. Then it's Jacko Tigranes, Akari, and U-Cable, the top 6. Just outside of that, you have Inokiri, Sebastian Ocampo, Dav Sanchez, and David Camino making the top 10. Outside of that, you have MF1 World and Milrez, Pastor Maldonado, and Ionic Babness, the 14 starts 14th. Then it's Theodore Schumacher, Salos Kynes, Daniel Bogdasarov, and Bob. Then it's Marcus Nelson in 19th, Mahavir Raghunathan, Yuki Suo, and the home driver JD Venter. Wow, this has been quite the exciting season so far, and as we approach round 6, we're in a new location. It's time for the East London E-Prix, and we are green in South Africa. And that's a very even start from the top 2. Lawless Chaklerk will have the inside line coming through turn 1, but he's not going to make the most of it. Leo right on his back as well. JD Venter with a 5-second time penalty had his home race before we've even completed lap 1. And most of the time when we have a wet race, it's very hectic. So Ravo staying side by side with Lawless Chaklerk here as they enter the second sector. Chaklerk does take the lead, and Leo and Akari both look as if they've got a very good shot at trying to take some higher positions as well. Leo trying to get past Ravo. It's basically as close to 3 wide as you can get down the straight, with Akari just racing in the wings, and Akari looks to be trying to take the outside line. Unconventional. Oh, they go 3 wide into the breaking point. Jacko Tigranes getting into this as well. JD Venter with another time penalty, and Daniel Bogdasarov out of the E-Prix, and that is that Andretti car. As for the running order, it is Lawless Chaklerk from Leo, from Ravo, from Akari, from Tigranes. What a top 5 we've just seen battle out for the lead coming through after the sector. But very unfortunate for that Pinnacle Formula E team that the VSC was flown. Virtual safety car ending, and we are about to get back to racing. We are racing again in the streets of East London, and there's a lot of tyre degradation if it does get dry, but we're not too sure if the track dries quick enough for it to actually matter that much, but we'll see once we reach the end of the race. Maldonado coming into the pits, changing his front wing, comes out of the pits now. As you can see, Pinnacle Formula E team with some new sponsorship from Oracle and Hitachi. And fastest first sector going to Lawless Chaklerk again. Very nice from that Mercedes car. They are absolutely cooking out there, I guess. Oh no, I don't need Gen Z swearing. But Leo closing in quite a bit on his teammate. Tigranes and Inokiri fighting over 5th place there. Inokiri up into 5th place, but he's still got Tigranes to worry about. All of these drivers definitely struggling out there, considering the positions, which makes every overtake even more impressive. Ionic Babness has dropped from 14th to 17th, not the start he would have wanted. JD Venter has gone from last to 11th, but he does have a 10-second time penalty to his name, as he now takes 10th position from Salos Kynes. And Leo, by the way, further up the field, has taken the lead. Leo to the lead of the South African E-Prix. On board with his teammate Akari, as Ravo sets the fastest lap, and Huey sets the fastest lap. Ravo to the lead, as the home driver JD Venter sets the fastest lap of the E-Prix to take 9th place. It's back there. But Lawless Chaklerk now and Akari all fighting for this leading position. Akari trying to send it around the outside to try and take the lead of this little battle for 3rd, but not Huey and Jacko Tigranes, and even arguably U-Cable has been involved in this. If this was in the dry, we'd have a major DRS train, but we don't have DRS because it's wet. And the number 30 in the Pinnacle Formula E team Calais takes the lead of the South African E-Prix. Akari looking to try and take 2nd as well as our teammate did it, and he can't! Akari out of the E-Prix! And that is absolute heartbreak for the Philippine driver. His teammate now has to try and salvage a result. That looks almost certain. It could have been a 1-2 for Pinnacle Motorsport, but it just can't. They can try and win, and that's all they can really do. Go back racing then, lap 3 of 14, pie lap, as they come across the line to start lap 4 of 14. Trying to get some pieces of team radio. Not what I wanted to see, I don't want to talk about that one. But Leo from Ravo, JD Venter, he's trying to infiltrate this battle for the lead as well. He's got a 10-second time penalty to his name, and he's fighting with the Season 10 champion U-Cable over 6th position. And the question is, can he actually try and make the position taken? But he's on the outside line. Nobody really wants to be on the outside line, but he's forced it down the outside. And he's gotten that 6th position, which is not how anyone wants to be overtaken. But that is how most drivers see themselves being overtaken in the inside line, not being defended by Leo, just so he could have a better exit. And that's put Ravo into the wall. Ravo in the wall. JD Venter with another 5-second time penalty. 15 seconds to be added to his end of race time, and that is Bob sliding and his teammate T-boning half of the track. My goodness me, a lot of carnage just caused by this man Ravo missing his front wing as he now tries to re-overtake Lawless Leclerc, this time for 2nd position. He's going to have to pit again, but that's allowed Leo to get a 4-second lead. So into the pits now comes Ravo on lap 5 of 14, and this is hope. This is win aspirations for Hyperdrive Racing going right down the gutter. I think another driver might come in. And no, I think, yeah, Milres didn't come in, Bob didn't come in, so I don't think anyone else is going to come in at the end of this lap. It is Leo from Leclerc, from Yui, from Venter, your top 4 today on lap 5 of 14. And JD Venter is on the back of an Arcuri. This would be his 3rd position on the road, but he would drop way outside of the points due to his 15-second time penalty. And he's lost quite a lot of straight line speed, and he tried to send it down the inside. He didn't get that slipstream effect going down in that second half of the straight because he pulled out of an overtake. But I guess this is where he's going to try and do it. He hasn't used any battery on this lap. You can see it on the dashboard, but I believe, yeah, Anart QE seems to have used at least a little, and that's why JD Venter is having a lot of problems trying to overtake Anart QE. That's a problem with defense, really, and the fact that the Mercedes car is built for, like, it's set up for leading, using ERS to defend, not really to attack. But they're gonna have to try something new. And Venter now, he's still looking to try and find his own way past Yuki Suo, and oh my goodness, this midfield pack. I think you might actually benefit from changing onto some slick tires. Slick tires could be good, but I'm not too sure about that. I'm not a strategist, I'm just a commentator. Venter, by the way, he has now gotten past Anart QE, but look at MF One World in the slipstream of his own teammate. He's getting a lot of wake off the back of that car. David Camino currently holds P10, but he's going to have to drop out of that position now. Babness to the 10th position, and Marcus Nelson could actually get on the stoop. And Babness on the outside line, not where many drivers want to be, and he does hit the wall like his teammate, and he's lost part of his front wing as the Romanian driver. Not at all the ideal scenario for Hyperdrive Racing. This race has been quite the nightmare for the team, as Mercedes now hold a 2-3, as into the pits comes seemingly everyone. Why are all coming in? It's for intermediate tires down at Mercedes. I would have waited another lap. To go onto dry tires. And yeah, you can see Skoda pulled out. Skoda have pulled out dry tyres. So there's a very large likelihood that the running order is going to get shaken up like a blender. But I do believe Leo will still hold the race lead. JD Venter has dropped from 3rd to 8th now. Lawrence Leclerc has gone overtaken by the Inokiri for 2nd. But everyone, and from 13th down, excluding the Brawn of Kamino and the Rodin Toyota of Yuki Suho, they're out there on slick compound tyres. Now, will that actually be quicker? We're going to monitor their lap times. And it's just, there's a likelihood of fastest sector times being given. You can see we are not really having any trouble coming through that part of the track, so it definitely was still wet when he was coming there. Not when an Huey comes through. He's in the wall. Lawrence Leclerc also in the wall. U-Cable in the wall. Tigranes flipping U-Cable. That is a virtual safety car. As cars without his grooves now come through this part of the track, and it is most certainly not wet anymore. Everyone's going to have to come and pitch for one reason or another now, and this is going to help out Leo quite a bit in his bid to hold on to the race lead. And Theodore Schumacher with a time penalty for colliding with another driver. So Leo in, and he's gone for the medium tyres. This should see him to the end of the E-Prix. Virtual safety car ending as Inokiri comes in. Tigrana is currently 3rd from Sanchez and Kynes. Then it's JD Venter, Ocampo and Leclerc. In terms of the World Drivers' Championship, this is an open goal for Seb Ocampo. His 2 championship rivals in Babnis and Revo, as well as JD Venter, he'd be scoring more points then, because JD Venter at home, he's had quite the scruffy affair. 15-second time penalty. The record for most time penalties in this championship is 25. And, oh my goodness, Marcus Nelson and Lawrence Leclerc have both gone on to hard compound tyres. That was not smart. That was just not smart. They should have gone for mediums if they wanted to make it to the end. David Camino also went for hards, so they're just trying to make sure that they do make it to the end. But Leo leads the way, a pit stop ahead of MF1 World, who is only another second ahead of Mahavir Raghunathan. My goodness me, what seemed like an almost certain win for Leo has now turned into an absolute certainty. I just can't think of a way that he doesn't win this race. Like, of course, there's always the risk of crashing, but I don't see that. And not giving the fastest sector time, and JD Venter resetting that. As yet, they're not queuing up into 4th. You can see his teammate right ahead of him. He doesn't try and send it, but Bob does take the inside line, and he's going to try and get up into 4th place. He's just not quite close enough to stick to the landing yet, but there is his landing place, and he's going to take 4th and set a new fastest lap here in East London. There's a new track record as well. As now we're trying to find JD Venter currently 10th. Ignoring penalties, if it were to finish like this, he would get a single point, and he's going to try and increase that gap. But he can't really do too much about it. He'd currently be around last, but he does get himself up into 9th position. Jaco Tigrana fastest first sector of anyone. He's currently in 9th place. Ravo right ahead of him, and he's made quite the recovery to get himself up into 6th place. And his teammate down in 14th. Wow, man, look at the gap Leo's been able to have. This is looking as if Pinnacle Formula E team are finally gonna come home with their first ever race win here in East London. They've only got 5 more laps to go, and once Leo comes across the line there, it'll only be 4 more. JD Venter trying to take 7th position, and he does take 7th from Jaco Tigrana, just sending it down the inside. Pastor Maldonado right behind these guys, taking 9th from Theodore Schumacher, as Marcus Nelson takes another position, and Rabo is out! Rabo collapses the barriers! And Bob into the pits on this lap. Those soft tyres have not lasted at all. Maybe the hard tyre runners were right to pick the hards, because those softs aren't lasting. But Hyperdrive Racing, it looks like it was going to work out well. It just hasn't for them. They picked up new sponsorship from SAP and Telcel. So help. So that sponsorship money that they're getting is going to help with that crash damage, but it's certainly not going to be easy to repair all of that. Red Bull Formula E team currently with a 2-3, and they're just inversing the cars now. Huey sending it down the inside just to show everyone what he can do. Because right now it really is just a battle for second. As into the wall goes Mojave Ragunathan. Ragunathan in the wall. Venter also in the wall. And they're both going to have to make another pit stop. Virtual safety car called as Theodore Schumacher out. Jaco Seguana's facing the wrong direction, and his teammate Pyle drives into that Lamborghini Mako car. And yeah, Seguana's also out of the E-Prix. There won't be a red flag call for the rest of the race. We've already surpassed the 60% race distance, so we will be fine to the end of the race. Leo didn't come into the pits on that lap. Other drivers certainly will come in. Enoch Curie is in the pits now to change onto what seems to be another set of soft tires. It should be another set of soft. It's mediums. It's mediums for you. It's mediums for MF1 World. It will probably be mediums for JD Venter as well. Just kind of confusing why they're all going on to the mediums when if they just go into another set of softs, it will just work better for them. As here's Bob trying to get past Lawless Leclerc over what is now a 10, no 6. It's 6 for Bob, but he's got a 5-second time penalty. It's going to hamper his progress. Leo coming through that section of the track just fine, according to the mini-map. So if he does want to pit at the end of this lap, he most definitely should. And why is Ian Bamner so far off the back of these guys? Coming out of the pits now, he might have had a puncture. But man, Hyperdrive Racing's day, absolutely torrid so far. Pinnacle Formula E team, it's a story of two halves. As Leo comes into the pits, he's got a very comfortable gap out there leading the race. He does go into soft tires as he starts lap 12. I don't even think... Oh, JD Venter, 20-second time penalty, and Yuki Suo faces the wrong direction. Can he get his car facing the right direction now? He's got quite a lot of damage and tire wear, so he's going to be coming into the pits at the end of this lap, whether or not for that collision. But JD Venter, 20-second time penalty. Mark Huey comes in again, and it's intermediate tires going on to the Red Bull. Virtual safety car called as Mojave Ragunathan out. Milrez was seemingly wall riding that turn. And it's raining again. It is raining again here in South Africa. I cannot believe it. But a virtual safety car has been called with only a handful of laps left to go. And Leo now has to come through the twiddliest section of any track on the calendar. And he's going to have to be very careful to keep it out of the wall. Virtual safety car ending, and I do believe, yes, Bob should hold the fastest lap. He does keep it out of the wall. Oh, nail-biting siege for Pinnacle Formula E team. But for that Pinnacle Formula E team, and since he got out of there just fine, Leo, he's only got 2 more laps to go. 2 more laps where he can race to the end as Carlos Kynes takes the inside line from Enoch Huey. They're going 2 by 2 through this section of the track. Huey retakes the position, forces Kynes close to the wall, but not quite into it. Looks somewhat drier again. It's very, very random conditions, you could say, around here. And yes, Leo has pit for intermediate tires. And maybe even a new change underwear as well. Yuki Suo currently 14th place. There's not really too much to say about his race today. They're just filled with a lot of collisions. Carlos Kynes, he's dropped off the back of the Enoch Huey by quite a bit. The gap to Leo now, 5 seconds. Due to his seemingly unnecessary pit stop. because of how wet it got. We're on the penultimate lap of the East London E-Prix. It's Leo from an Valkyrie from Carlos Sainz. I'm going to be calling Leo's final lap around this track. If he doesn't crash, this will be it for Pinnacle. This will be their first race win in the championship. You just have to wait, because anything can happen in motorsport, and it often does. For all we know, Leo could crash at any moment, but we hope he doesn't, as we see Marcus Nelson staying ahead of MF1 World here. It's just a very tense moment for this. Milrez in the 6th, he's currently 8th place. He should be in 7th, as his teammate has a 5-second time penalty. He's under threat from Lawless Leclerc though. He's going to pull to the inside. He doesn't have DRS anymore. There's only like a 2-lap span of time where you could have used it. This is somewhat slowly moving Dynamic Fabness, and I'm not going to monitor that, but yeah, Leclerc's 2-8. Sanchez tries to take 9th, and it might even be 8th for him. Oh, so close as we begin this final lap. I'm going to be calling Leo's final sector. He leads by 6 whole seconds from Carlos Sainz and an Valkyrie. He sets a new fastest first sector of anyone, 23.183. For Leo, as MF1 World sets the fastest first sector of anyone. For Leo, this has been his best race of his career. This has been one of the toughest races for Pinnacle Formula E team as a team. To have one of their drivers retire, but to have the other lead the way as MF1 World sends it down the inside on an Valkyrie. It's a 5-way fight for the podium, but not the race lead. Everyone snaking through this part of the track. I call it that, well, snakes. Milrez has dropped back to 11th place, but for Pinnacle Formula E team and the entire nation of the Philippines, as out of the race has gone Sebo Campo. What championship implications will that have? Leo rounds the final turn as a Formula E Monoposto Championship race winner. Leo wins the East London E-Prix, and my oh my, for Pinnacle, that must have been the pinnacle of their season. Carlos Sainz is going to come across the line in P2 with MF1 World right behind them. For an Valkyrie will be 4th place. Marcus Nelson will come home with a P5 finish. Bob 6th with the fastest lap. David Camno will be 7th. Lawless Leclerc 8th. Sanchez 9th. JD Venter 10th on the road. But Milrez will almost definitely take that 10th position away from him. Maldonado 12th. Suro 13th. And Dynamic Fabness comes home with a 14th place finish. And this race will definitely have major championship implications. And this is your podium then. If you thought you were dreaming, Pinnacle, dream no more. It's real. You have won a race, and it's with Leo, no less. Carlos Sainz 2nd, alongside him on the podium, and it's MF1 World in 3rd. Then, an Valkyrie, Marcus Nelson, David Camno, Lawless Leclerc, and Bob, the top 8. Just outside of that, you have Das Sanchez, Milrez, the top 10, Pastor Maldonado, 11th from Yuki Sura, Dynamic Fabness, and JD Venter, your finishers. Your non-finishers were Sebo Campo, Mahavir Raghunathan, Jacko Tiguanas, Theodore Schumacher, Ravo, UK Ball, Akari, and Daniel Bogdasarov. In the driver's standings, well, Sebo Campo still leads the way on 57 points, but a new name has been added to that pot for potential championship contenders. It's Carlos Sainz. It's tied with JD Venter and Ravo now. Dynamic Fabness still 5th with a not Yui on 42 points. 1 point back is Lawless Leclerc. Another point back is UK Ball. Then you have MF1 World and Leo tied on 29 points. Marcus Nelson 11th. Milrez 12th. Then it's Pastor Maldonado, Akari, and then Jacko Tiguanas and Mahavir Raghunathan tied on points. David Camino 17th on 17 points. Das Sanchez on 10 points, and his teammate tied with Bob on 6 points. The non-point scorers after 6 rounds are Daniel Bogdasarov and Theodore Schumacher. Somehow. In the constructors' standings, going into the Melbourne E-Prix, Hyperdrive lead the way on 99 points, but that's only 6 points ahead of Mercedes Formula E team, and it's Jaguar on 74 points ahead of Red Bull Formula E team Braun Honda Grand Prix on 57 points. DS Andretti tied with Braun, despite them leading the Drivers' Championship. Pinnacle Formula E team in 7th on 50 points. Lamborghini Mako on 46 points. Renault Formula E team on 30 points, 1 point ahead of Skoda. And then it's Rodin Toyota on 16 points. We'll see you guys next time then for the Melbourne E-Prix.